Hello and welcome to another episode. This time we are talking navigate business through customer experience essentials with the amazing Hannah Cornaby, and we're going to dive deep into that, which is really going to be interesting because it is essential to really work on your customer journey, customer experience. So I'm excited to learn and speak on this subject with someone who knows their stuff about this subject. Because in my own business, it's been something I've worked on, it's made a massive difference. But there's always more to learn, right? That's why you're here talking to us today. So before we get into talking about this subject, Hannah, do you want to introduce who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Hannah. I run Virtual Turtle and I am a systems, customer experience and workflow strategist. So I go into businesses and I have a look at the processes and the workflows and how you can streamline your businesses as to save time for you, but also to elevate that customer experience level so that you've got that in place so you can always have that plan in place to look back on and go, oh, this has happened, and you know exactly what to do. But it will also help you grow your business. So the aim is help you grow your business without adding extra work onto your business lives, because running a business is hard work, and as much time as you can gain back as you possibly can, that's the key, I think.
It is. And I'm gathering now that anyone listening to this that knows me really well be like, that's why Danny's got Hannah on, because everybody knows that I love to save time, make things faster and easier. I'm all about simplicity, which is why I was excited to talk about this and bring you on. So if we work on if before we dive into it, if we work on our customer experience, what is going to be the result of that?
so
Like, what are we
working
going to get out of it as a business owner?
so working on your customer experience isn't, so the way that I always look at it is, when you're looking and you start a business, you have so much guidance on how to build that customer base, how to start that customer journey, how to get new customers, but you never taught how to keep those customers, how to make them happy, how to get those referrals from those happy customers. And that is a key to a successful business. You can't always be hunting for new customers constantly, but customers who come back to you time and time again can spend a lot more money with your business. So they're a better place to build a business off is you returning customers and having that customer base. And one, then you don't have to spend quite as much on your marketing because you're not constantly having to look for new customers, but they'll also spread the word about you as well. So having those happy customers, and they'll be like, you know what, I had a really good experience with this person and this business, and they'll then go tell their friends, and then they'll tell their friends, and they'll tell their friends, and it'll keep on going. So you will get new business in from that way as well, but you'll also get that huge return business coming back time and time again. And it just makes happy customers is a happy business owner is a happy business.
It is, and it's interesting because I've been in business nearly 10 years now, and it's ironic that it was only last year I actually thought about customer retention and keeping them with me. And I remember when I came across the idea of a customer journey, no, a life cycle of a customer, I was like, oh wow, why did I not know this? And it is like you say, it's not being taught out there. And with business, I always say there's three stages, which most people know of and just need to deeper work on it. And that's lead generation, nurturing, and then conversion. But I do say to my clients and audience that it goes beyond converting a client. It's about what happens when you've got them in, which takes me on to the actual essentials within that customer experience. So, from your point of view, what would you say are the essentials in that journey?
So to me, it is for in it from a business perspective is to always make sure you've actually got like a customer journey planned out. A lot of people go into business and they're thinking it'll just build itself, which it will. Your customer service, if you've got customers, will automatically happen. But by planning that customer journey and having that in place, is essential for any business to grow and develop their customer experience to make it better. Your customer experience isn't going to get better without having a plan in place. You put marketing plans in place, you put plans in place for everything else, you put a goal plan in place. You should do the same for your customer experience. And to me, that is one of the biggest essentials, business side of things, that you can do. The other essential that I always find is having a plan in place for if things go wrong. So it's always, you will always get that one unhappy person at some point in your business life. Even if you have the best customer experience ever, something can still go wrong. And it's how you deal with that issue. And I always look back to last year running up to Christmas when we were having all those postal strikes and postal delays and products weren't getting to places. And a lot of businesses, even though they knew that was coming, hadn't put a plan into place to then absorb the shock of that. So, yes, we knew the problems were going to happen, but they weren't dealt with properly by a lot of businesses. So they were just going, oh, okay, I'll send a replacement out. Whereas they could have nipped it in the bud to start with and go, by the way, we know there's postal strikes happening. We are extending our lead time. So you expect your product to be delivered within X period of time instead of the normal one. And having that extra touch point into the customer journey for when things go wrong allows then for happier customers, because they know you're already dealing with it. They know you're not just waiting for it to happen. If it happens, the plan's already in there, and it means you can jump straight into it, so it can be resolved as quick as possible. Because if a customer has something happen, if it's dealt with properly and it's dealt with appropriately and in the right way, they will still come back to you. It takes a lot for a happy customer to turn that unhappy that they're not going to go back. So it's always, it's still always thinking about that customer retention to keep that customer happy. And yes, things will go wrong. Things may go wrong. They will go wrong, but it's how it's dealt with in that process. And I think that is also an essential thing that people don't necessarily think about. They don't want to think about when things go wrong because they don't want to think about their business in that way. But I think thinking ahead and thinking of those things that are going to happen eventually, having something in place is the best way to deal with it. And also working out your touch points as well. So adding in, when you're mapping out your customer journey, add in where you want the touch points to be, where you think it'll give you'll be able to see where additional touch points can go in, even sort of like where you can add an upsell to a customer so you can increase your profit revenue. Adding in, oh, okay, they've just brought this. If I go along and I can then email them and go, we're really happy with your project, by the way, we think this product will go really well with this product. And having that extra touch point, not only will it make them seem, okay, they're actually valued in the sense that they wanted to check that everything's okay, but they've actually looked at what I've brought previously and thinks this is going to work quite well. And it just makes it that little bit easier to upsell as well. More money. And that's what every business owner's plan is when they're running a business, isn't it? Is to bring that money in, and happy customers will spend.
It's true. It's so, so true. And I love that. And I smiled when you said it because I talk about with my clients, like there's an opportunity there to earn more, to support people more. And it's not even always just about the money, but it's the impact that we have on our clients as well during that journey, isn't it? Because if they're going to get more from us, they're going to make that, it creates an impact for them. It improves their lives, depending on obviously what your business is. But I truly believe every product, every service has a solution for someone. And then that solution they might pass on to someone else, depending on, like my clients do, because my clients are in business. So if it's like a holistic therapist, for example, the more people they serve, the more people get help with their ailments, mental health, or whatever situation they're being supported in. And when you were talking, I thought of both a positive and a negative experience that I went through. So I thought maybe I should share these and how we can kind of show the audience that are listening how they like this worked and this didn't work. And then maybe if you share some of yours as well. I think it's interesting to talk about this because it's not talked about enough. So I'll start with positive. I love to start with positives. I have an amazing, amazing experience with someone that I buy from. She sells me my skincare and she obviously has got me results through that. I keep on buying it. My skin's the best condition it's ever been in. But how this happened was I actually didn't intend to spend hundreds on products. I just booked in a free skincare consultation, which was free and hugely valuable anyway. And I came off that call with so much knowledge for what to use for my skin. She basically, she would have solved my teenage years. Like, she really would have. Because back then I was buying cheap products from Wilkinson's down the road from where I live, and it didn't work. So then I'd buy more products, and then I'd buy more products because they never worked. And I realized from that 1 hour of time with her the reason why they didn't work, which instantly solved the problem for me. It didn't just stop there. I went and bought from her, but what was best about this service was when I bought from her, she then followed up to check in and see how I was getting on with the products, which meant that because I was still a bit unsure because they were new products and it was a new routine, I could ask my questions to which she answered. And then a little bit of time goes by. I think it must have been about 3 weeks. She then followed up and checked in again. Like there was no sales here. She was just like, how are you getting on? Making sure it was actually working for me. And I really appreciated that. And then eventually, because I kept buying these products and spending over £100 every 6 months, there was a sale on. And she put me a message. Look, Danny, I know you love your skincare. I just wanted you to see that there's this offer. And I think it was like you saved £40 or something. And oh, it's brilliant. And I ended up using it and getting products that I wanted. And I saved £40. And I actually said to her then, as a result of that, anytime you get an offer, I don't always see your post. Let me know. I don't mind you pinging it in my inbox. And she does exactly what I asked for. But then another thing that works really well is as part of these products that I buy, the company brought out something new. So I was like, oh, do I try this? But I wasn't sure. So I just asked the question and she gave me the answer and then I bought it. But then again, she came back and she was like, how's it going for you? Is it working? And there's so many times where she's been there supporting me with the actual products that I've used. And it's given me a massively positive experience that I do recommend her. I tag her in my orders on social media. So, like, as you said earlier, I'm spreading the word about her business based on that amazing products service from her. And it really is about that because people will be your biggest cheerleader. And then I've got a negative experience. So there is a big, big business actually. It's quite a well known business with quite a high following on social media. And she ran some events. So I thought, oh, amazing. I'd love to get in person and book onto this event. So I booked, I paid, and then I waited for the details as you do. They never came. Waited again. I thought I'll just be patient. Just had a lot going on. They never came. And I think sometimes people use excuses for not having good customer service. But like you said, if you have that plan in the beginning, you've got the customer service planned out. Anyway, these details never came. Event got cancelled. I asked for a refund, which took me about a month and a half to get. Finally got it. But to this day, I know of some people that still haven't got a refund, and that was last year. That's how bad it was. And then she did another event. She had a membership, she had products for sale. I joined, I bought. Because then, even though the trust was broken once, I thought, you know what, give her the benefit of the doubt. And then she organised another event. And the same thing happened again. And it's actually left a sour taste. And I get this a lot being a business coach. Like people come to me after being with previous coaches, mentors, and they're like, this has happened. And it breaks my heart because there's been delivered such a terrible service. And I sadly have had to get a refund again, and I will not buy from this person because they've broke the trust. And that is the importance of the service, isn't it? Is that it can break trust if you've not delivered, obviously on what you've said, but also had the communication alongside the process to say, this is what's happening, this is why it's gone wrong. So that's kind of two experiences that I've gone through in the past year, positive and negative, and you can kind of see how we can take those and learn from them. What are your thoughts
That's
on
it.
those?
It's looking at the negative one. I mean, it could have been so easily resolved. I mean, you never know what's going on in the background of a business. It's not you don't
Yeah.
need to know what is happening in the middle of someone else's business. It could be such a simple thing that meant that yes, that event's not being able to happen, but by emailing straight out and going, really sorry, I'm having to cancel this. We know we were looking forward to it. This is the plan I've put into place. We will refund everyone by X date. So you've got a guideline on when to expect it by, and giving those reasonable expectations for the customer to then know that, okay, it's happened. I'm a little bit disappointed I'm not going to be going to this event because I was looking forward to it, but it's been dealt with and I will get my money back. And I know the communication and the trust is still there. The trust doesn't need to be broken by something going wrong. So it could be, for example, something's popped up within her family dynamic or something that means that she now can't do an event on that date. The event will happen at some other time, but the people that was originally booked onto that event, because the trust has now been broken, because there wasn't expectations put into place on how it was going to be dealt with, they're not going to go and sign up for that event now. I mean, you've already gone back once and it took 2 times for that trust to be completely broken for you to walk away, which shows that good customer experience, if it's dealt with, does mean that you will go back again and again. But
Yeah.
if you have those expectations in place prior to it and it's gone wrong, then you're not breaking that trust. Yes, people will be sad. Yes, they'll be disappointed. And yes, you may still get those customers that are going to be like, oh, she's cancelled. I don't want to go to that anymore. But majority of them will be just like, oh, okay, things happen. Things happen. It's
Yeah.
dealt with.
Oh, yeah.
I'll move on to the next one. With the positive one, she's doing an amazing job. I mean, she upselled you. She upselled you and she upselled you well.
Yeah.
And she did it at the perfect time by adding in those touch points and adding in those little elements into the customer journey. Meant that not only have you gone back time and time again, actually, you've probably spent more money than what you would have done. So
Yeah.
she's done it amazingly by offering that free service. And yes, free services and free consultations don't always work for every single business. It will depend on your business model. But by offering that business and giving value within that free consultation as well, meant that not only did you walk away with sort of like some value in what you wanted from that free consultation, that check-in and again that touch point that she added in afterwards meant that you've gone back and you've spent. Whereas if you just did the free consultation, you got a little bit of what you wanted out of it, but she didn't check in, you probably might not have gone back to her. You might have gone, okay, I've learned what I want, so let me go and find it elsewhere. But because she came back to you and she said, how was this? How are you getting on? Have you managed to change how you're doing your skincare routine? Are you noticing any difference? Even though you hadn't noticed much of a difference by that point, you've gone, okay, she actually cares about what's happening. And she would have, if something had gone changed and you weren't happy with it, she would have then been able to follow that up with, okay, we've tried this, it's not working, but let's try this instead. So you're getting value time and time and time again. And it's a great way to deal with customers and getting customers to come back to you by giving those little value pieces throughout and giving you that discount code and giving you that, which is another way of importance, sort of like your email marketing and your marketing campaigns and stuff, because not everyone sees your social media posts. There's so many
They
people,
don't.
especially business owners, follow and are connected with that big amount of people
Yeah.
that it is easy to miss things. I mean, I know I was going through Facebook the other day and went, actually, I've not seen a post from that person for a really long time. By having those dual marketing campaigns, so your social media and then your email marketing, it's making sure that the people that you want to see your offerings and your services and your products are seeing them. You can't always rely on one thing to be able to get it sorted, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it increases your touch points as well, doesn't it? And I
Yeah.
work on emails and email marketing. a lot with my clients, because my opinion of it is we lose social media and we rely on that. We've lost part of that customer journey instantly. So we need to have a backup plan, a way to keep on reaching and like you say, those touch points and speaking to people who
That's
are
it.
in our audience.
That's it.
If someone's starting out with building a customer journey, of course, you said that you'd start with a plan, but where would be the best place to start? Is there like
Uh,
one tip that you'd give?
yeah, so the best thing that I always start is look at where you are now and where you want to be. So start by just making a list of things that you offer, how you're planning on getting out there. And I always link a customer journey plan is always linked quite closely to a marketing plan. That's one of the touch
Mm.
points that you need to have within your customer journey. So I always think about it exactly the same way as you would your marketing plan. You go into a marketing plan and you think what products I want to sell at certain points, what I want to do here. You need to look at the customer journeys plan the same way. Get your ideal client into place. Think about who you want to sell to, what you want to sell to each client. By doing that, you've got the start of the customer journey plan there, ready, waiting for you. And then it's just going along and going, okay, so when they buy this from me, and then so take my business for example. So someone's gone onto my website, they've booked a discovery call, they've booked this free consultation with me, and we have a chat on what they need from me, and I give them some insight in how I feel I can help them, and what I feel they need for their business in that free consultation. So that's then the second step. So then your third step is then the service. So then you look at that's your third main step. From there, it's your offboarding, and that's your fourth main step. And then it's just filling in the gaps on okay, so between this discovery, so from them booking the discovery call to having the consultation, what can I do to increase the customer experience and the customer touch points in that? So sending out your 48 hour, I'm meeting you 48 hours, really looking forward to meeting you. Oh, just to remind you, we're meeting in an hour type thing. And then sending another email after that going, it was really nice to meet you and to get to know you. Really like to proceed, and I'm going to be sending you a proposal out in a short time. And it's just filling those gaps. So as long as you've got your key points of your process, so your how your customer's going to get in contact with you, if it's a product, sending that product out, and then sort of like a follow-up email on the end, and then just fill in the gaps in the middle. It comes so much easier once you've got those main points into place.
I love that. And now I kind of feel better about my customer journeys that I've set up. And I was thinking as well, it's not always just a benefit to the client, is it? Because in my experience, it makes it easier for us as well. So one example is I run a mastermind, and this time I sold it to the most people. I've got many clients coming through it. And as they come in, I need them to sign a client contract. I need them to be introduced to how it all works, how the access calls, many, many things. And so this time, well, I worked over summer to create a portal that they had instant access to, that took them step by step through that process. And the ease of not having all these people come to me with different questions at different time about all these different aspects, and just know that they can go and do it. I mean, there were some tech hiccups, I will admit, but obviously they went the first time I done it, so then I could be aware of it, fix it, and then we could deal with it, and then they can get access to it. So like it does show you once you get started on that journey where the tech hiccups lie, how can I solve that problem? So mine was actually getting my clients to do the most important thing and sign the contract. It just for some reason on certain clients' phones and things, it just wouldn't open up. They couldn't access it. They didn't know how to fill it in. So I thought, right, I know. I'm going to create a video on how to do it. Literally took me a few minutes. I think it was about 3 minutes long. And then they knew when they went in, they could watch that, fill it in, done. And it just made the process so much easier for them, not having to reach out. And actually, I had a client stressed about it. So it solved that problem. And then I got what I needed for them to begin the
And
journey with
that's the,
me.
the
It
the
does.
the great reason to have a plan and add in that customer pointing. You had those odd complaints that meant that you knew there was an issue there, so therefore you added that extra touch point in that then resolved that. but it's also allowed you to automate some processes as well. And automation is the key to
Love
saving
automation.
time as a business owner. You want to automate as much as you possibly can without taking that human element away from things. So by automating the contract signing and the onboarding and the here's what happens next bit, you've saved countless of hours over your working year that you don't even realize, because you do it as a day-to-day thing. It's just in almost in your DNA that you sit down at your desk and you do that thing every single day. But actually, you can take that away and it doesn't impact your customer experience. In fact, sometimes it can enhance it even further. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of businesses are scared of automating because they're scared that it's going to take away that human element. But there are ways of automating some of those workflows and some of those points and still have that big human touch and that human element still within the business.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you just said that because it is something I do want to talk about because I've seen a lot of discussions recently on social media about automation. I know that a barrier for that is tech, but
Yeah.
the other thing is that people believe they're going to lose that human connection. But in my opinion, we choose how we deliver. So it's on our responsibility to keep that human connection, which is what I'm testing out actually in what I'm doing because I do feel human connection is important, but I also want to save time. Are there any final thoughts around the customer experience that you have before we round up?
Yeah, so the main thing is it's customer experience can be a scary term. I think for a lot of small businesses, they always think, like I said earlier, that it just falls into place. And yes, it will. But by having those plans in place and mapping out your customer journey and putting in those extra touch points, it will save your business from having to do a lot more legwork in the future. And by taking the time and taking that moment, if you're starting your business right at the very start, or if even if you're in the middle of the business, it will hopefully impact your life and your business's life for better. And it should make it more easy to grow your business. And it can be scary and thinking, oh, how do I do a customer journey mapping and so on. And it can look overwhelming. It's like I completed a customer journey map and some workflows for a client recently, and I sent over this big document of just like a flow chart ultimately on do this and right the way through to this. And she was like, I don't know what it means. I said, you don't need to know what it means at the moment. I said, but look at it. See if it's got everything that you want, all those elements in there that you need. I said, then I'm going to jump on a call with you and we're going to have an hour-long chat and I'm going to take it through step by step by step. And I think that, yes, it can look confusing. Yes, it can be scary for any business owner to implement something new into their business. But it's a way to modernize your business. It's a way to make life a little bit easier for you. You don't need to be scared. At the end of the day, there's people like me that know what I'm doing when it comes to the customer journey, and I can strategize and personalize it and tailor it to your business. That makes it easier for you to follow. So it just means then that you just need to look at it and go, okay, I can do this. It's easy. And it also means you can pass it on to someone else as well, someone that doesn't know. So, for example, your virtual assistant that you've got, if you have a customer journey map into place and you are taking some time off, for example, you can go, this is my customer journey plan. Please follow this plan to the T. They'll know exactly what they're doing as well. So it means that if the worst case scenario comes in, you're rushed into hospital, someone else can pick up your business and they'll know exactly what you're doing for your customer experience and your customer journey.
Yes, that is what my ultimate goal actually. Other than having me like on a session, I want everything else to be just there. That is one of my big goals. If we want help with that, where can we come and find you and come and work with you?
Yep, so I am over at www.virtual-turtle.co.uk. It's a mouthful, but it's a remembering name. I have all the key things in there. So I have my customer journey mapping sessions that I can do, and my feedback guides where I can plan out where you should be. I can look at your business and implement like a strategy on how you can do it, but then I can go further and go, okay, I can do your customer journey mapping, and I can even implement it into your business, and it's all personalized and tailored to the person's business, because not one business and one business owner are the same. So it's not a one size fits all package. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn as well, which you can find me on Hannah Cornaby on LinkedIn, and Virtual Turtle on both Facebook and Instagram.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And the question that I ask everyone when they come and be a guest for me is, what would be your top tip for being organized in your business?
So I'm going to keep it focused on customers as well. It's me. I've got to do it. But it's what I've just touched on, is making sure you've got that plan in place, but not just for the customer journey. Make sure you have your marketing plan in place. Make sure you have every little thing in place. I mean, I always go back to I always think I'm back in the 90s. I do everything on paper, and then I also have digital versions as well. Both work fantastic. But paper versions obviously are great when you just sort of like sat and you're scribbling late at night going, oh, I'm just going to add this into here and to make your notes on, and then to update it digitally. But it allows you then that when you do take on employees and you're at that point in your business, which is hopefully where you can get to, or if you're freelancing out to a consultant or a VA, or even if, like I said earlier, the worst case scenario, I mean, I'm going to be having surgery in a few months' time, fingers crossed anyway, still waiting for a date, that I have those plans in place so that I can have someone step into my business with very little information if I need to, and they can go, okay, this is where she's at now. This is what I need to do to keep her business on the same track as what it is at the moment. So they know exactly what they need to be doing for the marketing. They know what to be doing for the customer experience. They know how to deal with all those little bits within your business. Having that organized means that you can then hopefully take a step back and let other people do the organizing for you.
Amazing. I absolutely love that. It's so important. Thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully, well, I know you will have inspired some listeners to go away and to implement some of what you've talked about into their business. Because if they're not getting it from me, they can come get it from you, and you do the actual doing it with you and for you, which is amazing. So thank you so much for coming and talking to us about this important subject, thing that we should not miss for our businesses.
No, don't miss it. It's always something that's looked over, but it shouldn't be. You can keep those customers, you can keep returning, and you can boost your money just by making such a simple implementation into your business that it's worthwhile doing.
It absolutely is. Thank you so much.